Norway is in national mourning after the death of King Harald V. The Norwegian king died early on Friday, the 28th of August, at the age of 89. He died peacefully at Oslo University Hospital, where he had been receiving treatment for a rare blood condition. King Harald had been on the Norwegian throne for 35 years. His death marks the end of a long and important chapter in the country's modern history. Across Norway, people are gathering to remember the king. Outside the royal palace in Oslo, mourners are laying flowers. The royal flag has been lowered to half-mast. People are standing quietly, paying their respects to a monarch who was known for his warmth, humility, and close connection with ordinary Norwegians. King Harald was born in Norway in 1937, but his childhood was shaped by war. He was only 3 years old when Nazi Germany invaded Norway during the Second World War. His mother took Harald and his family across the border to Sweden. Later, they traveled to the United States after receiving an invitation from President Franklin Roosevelt. When the war ended, Harald returned to Norway. He completed his education and military service. In 1957, he became Crown Prince Harald after the death of his grandfather, King Haakon VII. A few years later, he went to Britain to study at Balliol College, Oxford. There he studied social science, history, and economics. But Harald's personal life would also become important to the future of the Norwegian monarchy. He wanted to marry Sonja Haraldsen. She was not a princess. She was a commoner. At the time, this was a major break with royal tradition. The relationship continued for years before Harald was finally given permission to marry her. They married in 1968. Sonja became Crown Princess Sonja, and when Harald became king, she became Queen Sonja. The couple remained together for almost 58 years. Their marriage helped change the image of the Norwegian monarchy. King Harald was not a king who wanted to appear distant from his people. He often showed emotion. He spoke about family, love, and the difficulties of life. He also became known for his simple and human style. For many Norwegians, he was more than a constitutional monarch. He was a familiar national figure who had been present throughout much of their lives. Harald became king in January 1991. He succeeded his father, King Olav V. For the next 35 years, he served as Norway's head of state. During his reign, Norway went through major social and political changes, but the king remained a symbol of stability and continuity. He also became known for supporting a modern and more open monarchy. Now, Norway faces a historic transition. Harald's son, Haakon, has become the new king of Norway. King Haakon is 53 years old. Only hours after his father's death, the new king met government ministers at the royal palace. He was dressed in black military regalia. His daughter, Crown Princess Ingrid Alexandra, also attended the meeting. She is 22 years old and is next in line to the Norwegian throne. Her presence offered a powerful image of the monarchy moving from one generation to the next. But for the moment, the country is focused on mourning. Norway has declared a period of national mourning from Friday until the king's funeral. Flags will fly at half-mast at royal residences, government buildings, and military sites. Public activities will continue, but they will be carried out in a more solemn and dignified way. King Harald's death has also brought messages of sympathy from abroad. Britain's King Charles III and Queen Camilla have expressed their condolences. King Charles described Harald as his dear cousin. He praised the Norwegian king for serving his people with dedication, warmth, and humility. The connection between the two royal families goes back generations. Harald was a second cousin of King Charles's mother, Queen Elizabeth II. For Queen Sonja, the loss is especially painful. The couple were due to mark their 58th wedding anniversary on Saturday. Instead, Norway is preparing to say goodbye to a king who had spent most of his adult life serving the country. King Harald leaves behind Queen Sonja, his son King Haakon, his daughter Princess Märtha Louise, and 6 grandchildren. His life began in a Norway facing war. His reign continued through decades of peace and enormous change. And now, at the age of 89, his long journey as king has come to an end. Outside the royal palace in Oslo, flowers continue to arrive. People come quietly, they leave their flowers, and they remember. For Norway, the death of King Harald V is not simply the death of a monarch. It is the closing of an era,